In today's Get Fit, we're going to tell you about a program called Optimal Performance Consulting. We see our man Kurt Friend getting ready here, and this is a great way for student athletes to plan a path for success in athletics, all aspects of life. Now, Kurt, you're going to further explain what's going on here. Thanks for being here, first of all.
Thanks a lot for being here.
All right, now this is kind of a new program, and people may be confused as to what exactly it is that you do. So what's the general idea and concept behind Optimal Performance Consulting?
Well, ultimately what we try to do is we're trying to improve performance not only in athletics but in general life as a whole. As a certified athletic trainer, I do medical care for events, but also working with people to improve their individual performance, and then also the different tricks and trades to help improve that. Foot inserts, specialty braces and pads, and of course exercise.
So you want to work with a lot of student athletes to do this, and they can call you individually and you can help them out and get them on a program basically?
Right, I'm set up for event coverage, team coverage. If a team wants to improve their performance as a whole, that's one of the things I strive on, is that it's not just a team aspect, it's also each individual contributes to that team.
I just saw you out at a high school football game recently.
Do a lot of football, do a lot of basketball and baseball.
All right, sounds fantastic. So we'll have the information about how you can contact Kurt here on our website, so we'll tell you about that. Now, you mentioned a little bit, how are you qualified to offer this sort of this sort of training and ideas and concepts behind this?
Yeah. Well, for 28 years I've been doing athletic training. I taught for 20 years how to be an athletic trainer at the collegiate setting. And during that time I worked with a lot of professional teams. I worked with the Kansas City Chiefs, worked with some professional baseball, CBA basketball, all those different types of events. And I never thought I'd ever be doing high school athletics, believably. But we moved here 8 years ago, and we filled a need at some of the inner city high schools providing athletic training coverage. That program has transitioned at this point to individual things, and I really feel as though most of the youth sports, we can prevent a lot of those injuries from occurring in youth sports. And that's something that's not being done in the high schools or in the younger, particularly the youth sports.
Why wait until the injury happens? Why not prevent it before it happens? All right, so you brought a few things to show us this morning. This is just kind of scratching the surface of some of the things that you do, but what are we talking about today? What are we going to do here?
Well, posture is a major contributor to injury cause, the mechanism of injuries. So what we try to do is, my take on it is, let's not wait for the injury to occur. Let's go ahead and do a preventative screening, for instance. And what I brought out here is a pair of foot inserts. I commonly hand these out to our athletes when I see that there's a balance or posture issue. And we can correct the injury by fixing the mechanics. And I do a quick test.
Sure, let's do it.
Go ahead and intertwine your hands in front of you. Check to see what the balance is, and we'll take a look at his feet here. You're going to stand up nice and tall. I'm going to gently push down, and you can see that he's pretty stable to the front, but we intertwine behind. We do the same test. We push straight down, and he's got a stability issue. No matter how much you try, where your feet hit the ground is what the critical point is, and you can see how off balance he is. Now, he's trying. And what it is, when your feet rotate in, you can't contract your glutes. And if you can't contract your glutes, you can't get to your core. And we all learned about what core is. But ultimately, the difficulty is, it's where your feet hit the ground where you get your foundation, where you get your stability. It all comes up in a big chain. So let's see what the corrective measure is, and it's as simple as this. You stand on a pair of foot inserts. Now, these are rigid, hard, and firm inserts. It's not a piece of foam, so it's not something that's going to break off.
Glad I didn't have my holy socks today.
Yeah, thank goodness. And now I push down on him, the same situation. Now he's stable. I can put both hands on there and try to push down as hard as I can, and he's not going to budge.
Not budging a bit. So this is going to help you with all those things you were talking about.
Correct. So an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. When you get young kids into foot inserts or a foot off-the-shelf insert, not necessarily, I mean, you can go to get a custom, but at $35 a pair, it's a lot less for an off-the-shelf.
We got time to show us one more thing if you want to, because we're running out of time here.
Well, Joe, I know that flexibility is a big issue. If you can sit down on the mat here for a second.
Just sit. Okay.
I teach people how to stretch correctly. Go ahead and go do a sit and reach.
Sit and reach.
Feet straight. Feet straight out. Feet straight out.
Feet straight out.
Shoulder width apart. And the classic, go ahead and spread the feet. Shoulder width apart is what we want to do, and this is the classic. You don't feel it in your hamstrings when you do it this way, though, do you? You feel it in your back. This is supposed to be a hamstring stretch, so let's correct this. Come on back. Sit up tall. Shoulder width apart with the feet again. Shoulder width apart.
Shoulder width apart.
Shoulder width apart. Back straight, head up. Put one hand on top of the other and try to reach out in front of you with your back straight and your head tall. Now pull your toes up towards you.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, oops.
Feeling that right
now
here, yep.
Now you're stretching your hamstring. And so the key thing is technique. I work on a principle of C, duh, fist.
C to fist.
Communication with the athlete and with the parents is critical. Discipline and attitude. And then focus, intensity, skills, technique, and then teamwork. So we work on that stuff first. Work on the individual to get them better. That makes your whole team better.
Individuals, coaches, get in contact with Kurt. All the information, like we said, is going to be on our website shortly. We are out of time. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks a lot.
And thanks for the hamstring stretch.